Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the White Coat Ceremony of St. George's University School of Medicine, Class of 2030. Woo. I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Charles Modica, Chancellor, Dr. Marios Lucas, President of St. George's University and Dean of the School of Medicine, Dr. Mark Clunas, Provost and Senior Associate Dean of Basic Sciences of the School of Medicine, Dr. Claudine Brown, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Associate Professor in Clinical Skills, and our esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Lucy Clunes, Vice President of Student Affairs, Senior Associate Dean of Student Affairs of the School of Medicine, Dr. Anthony Andel, Vice Provost of Academic Quality and Strategic Progress, Dr. Satish Badesi, Interim Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine, Dr. Arlette Harry, Vice President of Multicultural Affairs and Interim Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, the Vice Presidents, Associate and Assistant Deans, Chairs, and Heads of Department of St. George's University School of Medicine, other faculty members, specially invited guests, staff, parents, and most especially our students. It is such a privilege to stand before you today as an alumna of St. George's University School of Medicine and as your Master of Ceremonies. I still remember the feeling of pride, anticipation, and yes, nerves that I felt at my own white coat ceremony. Standing here now, both as an alumna and as a faculty member, this moment is very deeply personal for me. This ceremony marks a defining milestone, the moment that you are formally welcomed into the medical profession and entrusted with its values. The white coat you receive today is more than a symbol of knowledge. It represents compassion, integrity, resilience, professionalism, and a lifelong commitment to serve. As you put it on for the first time, remember it does not simply signify what you've achieved so far, but it reflects the responsibility that you now carry and the physician you are becoming. Today begins a journey that will challenge you, inspire you, and ultimately shape you into the doctors that you are destined to be. I'd like to share with you a brief history of this ceremony. In 1993, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation created the White Coat Ceremony at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons to promote humanism in medicine. With guidance from the Gold Foundation, St. George's University School of Medicine initiated its own White Coat Ceremony in 1996, long before many other U.S. medical schools. In 2003, the Gold Foundation founded the Gold Humanism Honor Society, an international society dedicated to the promotion of humanism, professionalism, and ethics in medical practice and medical education. Dr. Arnold Gold passed away at the age of 92. He was an international advocate for humanism in healthcare, and we are honored to have hosted Dr. Gold and his wife Sandra as keynote speakers for our 2005 Spring White Coat Ceremony. St. George's University's chapter of the Gold Humanism Honor Society is based in the Department of Clinical Skills and is supported by the Dean of Medicine's office. Our chapter established a humanitarian student organization in 2009, through which our basic sciences students promote humanism across the SGU and Grenadian communities. Chapter members are nominated by their peers and inducted during their clinical training when they participate in an ongoing chapter project. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Mark Clunas, Provost of St. George's University.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to St. George's University. The first thing I want to do is actually acknowledge the people at the back of the room, the parents, brothers, sisters, children, partners, all the friends and family that are here to support our aspiring physicians today. I'm sure that without you, they would not be quite as far in that pathway as they are today. We're proud to welcome you to St. George's University and to Grenada. St. George's is 50 years old just in a few months. In fact, we celebrate our 50th birthday of our charter agreement just in a few months' time. And 50 years since the first students in the first School of Medicine class came here to Grenada in January 2027. That'll be the 50th year. We're living a dream that our Chancellor, Dr. Modica, had more than 51 years ago, and I'm pretty confident that we're living way beyond the dream that he could have possibly imagined back in 1975. We've got 4 schools, approximately 6,000 students, a global community from medicine, vet medicine, nursing, computer science. And today it's medicine that brings us here to this white coat ceremony, which was founded by Arnold P. Gold. And Arnold P. Gold wanted to set humanism at the forefront of medical practice. Because when we speak about medicine today, we usually speak the language of science. You enter an evidence-based profession, and for the next 2 years, you're going to study the foundational sciences. It makes sense. You're physician scientists. You define, you measure, you test, you prove. But when I began to think about humanism for this white coat ceremony, I approached it in the same way, because I am a scientist. So from a scientific point of view, what do we usually do? We isolate the variable. We control for all their factors. So in that regard, when we look at a clinical scenario, what remains? What is humanism? What is pure humanism when we remove all those other elements? And the more I reflected on it, the more I stopped feeling like a diffuse idea, because humanism can often feel diffuse and undefined, but something more tangible, an instance, a place and time, a place where physicians are often found, but not exclusively so. Other people can be found there too. It's a place in medicine that every one of you will likely visit. Some specialities make their home there. Many only pass through. But no one who enters it leaves unchanged. It's a place where the lights of the hospital fade, where the constant motion recedes, where the noise slips away until only quiet remains. Not because medicine has failed, but because it's finished its shift. Tests have been run, results returned, images examined. And now in this place, even clinical reasoning, which you have so carefully learned, so rigorously practiced and nurtured, falls silent. Not because it lacks value, but because we've crossed into a domain beyond its reach. Seneca would have said, ad extremum ventum est. We have come to the edge, to the very limit of medicine, and in some ways back in time to its very origins. In that place, diagnosis no longer matters. Treatment options are irrelevant. What remains is just a human soul, alone, exposed, and facing something that cannot be fixed. And you'll be with them, not as an expert, not as a problem solver, but simply as another human witness. You may offer words, touch, or a look, but sometimes the most meaningful thing to do is just to remain, to hold space when there is nothing left to do, a simple acknowledgement of what is. The Stoics had a word for that final obligation, adese, to be present. And this is humanism in one of its purest forms, unadorned, stripped naked, raw, somber, and ancient. A human soul, quiet beside another human soul, with a shared understanding of human fragility. Human perspective is one of the rarest things we know of in this universe. In fact, if you think of the rarest elements, the rarest metals and gems, they infest our universe. But the one thing that is truly scarce and truly rare, and in fact in mathematical terms on the furthest limits of probability, is human perspective. It's fragile and it's ephemeral, and you as healers will be entrusted with it, especially at the most vulnerable moments of another person's life. Medicine gives way to meaning, and the role of the physician is back to the older calling of healer. But that's not, of course, the only place where humanism lives. It also appears abundantly and exuberantly, but at the opposite extreme, in moments that make no sense at all on paper, in laughter that continues long after a joke has ended, when no one remembers what was funny anymore, in conversations that go nowhere, told and retold because meaning has yielded to shared presence. In shared glances, unguarded silences, joy that lingers simply because you're present with the people that you love. In meals that stretch beyond hunger, in walks taken the long way home just to delay goodbye. So these moments accomplish nothing, yet from a human perspective, they're absolutely everything. And it reminds us that beyond purpose, beyond measure, beyond reason, there's the quiet truth that we're alive together now. Icet nunc, here and now. Humanism exists in isolation at these two extremes, shared vitality, shared mortality. Communis vitalitas et mortalitas. The difference between these extremes is that the bonds of love and shared experience energize the interaction, and on the other end, existential crisis of mortality draws us together. But between those extremes, humanism fills every space where human connection exists. It's always in the background, in every encounter, in every act of care, but it grows louder at these moments of isolation. So as you put on this white coat today, remember, it's not only a symbol of knowledge earned or of professional commitment, it's also a reminder of one of the rarest things we know of, human perspective offered freely. The Stoics taught that when status, wealth, and comfort fall away, when fortune's illusions all dissolve, what remains is one thing that no circumstance can command, the character with which we meet another human being. And to me, that is humanism. So you're going into this profession with intelligence and ambition. You're going to remain in it because of purpose. You will have strength for the road ahead, I have every confidence. So please find joy in the relationships that will sustain you and the quiet confidence to stand anima ad animam, human to human, soul to soul, when it matters most. I wish you every success and a life of purpose lived well amongst others. And I'd like to introduce our president, Dr. Marius Lucas, president and friend.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very proud and very glad to see all those nice faces this morning. I see some smiles, but we're going to make sure by the end of the ceremony we have even more smiles. So, thank you so much for trusting your education with St. George's University. Our university, as Dr. Kloon said, is 50 years old this year in 2026, so you're going to be part of a lot of celebrations. That doesn't mean, of course, that you don't have to study because we have a lot of celebrations, but we're going to make sure that you're going to be part of the parades and many other things we have planned for. The second thing, I would like to thank our faculty. You're in great hands here. We have great faculty that it will take care of you. It will take care of your academic needs. And of course, we have the Dean of Students, Dr. Lucy Kloons, that it will take care of all the non-academic needs or any type of issues you have in this university. We have an enormous system of support in this place, so please use and abuse it. It's in your hands to take advantage of all these systems that we have created for you, and it has created a large number of physicians that they currently practice in the United States, that they are graduates. We're the #1 provider of physicians in the United States with over 24,000 graduates right now. And a fun fact, if knock on the wood, you get sick in New York City and you seek for help, the chances that a graduate of St. George's will treat you is roughly 15%. So that's great for a big state like New York. Having said that now, I would like to offer a little bit of an advice to all our graduates and obviously our parents and friends that they are in the audience. So #1, it's very, very, very important to work hard. Medicine is a very challenging profession, rewarding at the same time, but work beats everything. So we have to work hard, including you, us, even your parents from time to time. The second part, your attitude. We need an extremely positive, happy attitude. Why? Because your patients, they're going to look at your face, and they're going to want to see somebody who is happy and glad to try to treat you. So if you're not a happy person, let's try to make sure that you start faking being happy, and by the end of the medical school, as a class of 2030, you're going to be a very, very happy bunch. The third one, which is extremely important, it's managing our anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety nowadays about AI and what AI is going to do. Here's the good news for all of you. We're going to have, and you're going to have, a great job. AI is not going to take your jobs away, maybe like other professions. So let's be happy about that. Let's embrace the part that we entering a very, very cool profession of, helping people and doing the right thing. The fourth thing, which is other than be happy, work hard, be sure that we have a job, is to be in contact with your parents and loved ones. You're not alone in this journey. Make sure you are in contact with them. I have a daughter more or less at your age, maybe a little bit younger, but she's in university. And the good thing is I'm share her anxieties, maybe sometimes more, because I have to pay for her education. So my anxieties maybe is a little bit higher. But the important thing is it's contact, be in touch with your parents, because you're not alone in this journey. It's very easy nowadays. I remember my days. I had to go and find a phone and a phone card. Right now, you pick up your phone and say, Mom, Dad, I'm struggling, you know. And sometimes, you know, referring that stress to your parents, it's a very good thing for you, not for them. So my point, be in touch with your parents. If you do all those things, the rest are going to come very, very naturally, and you're going to join this huge network of physicians we have, and you're going to be the 25th and 26,000 alumnus representing SGU, and of course being a great ambassador for this great place that is called Grenada. With all those things, I'm sure you're going to do great. You look great. Congratulations, and we're looking forward for your graduation in 2030. Thanks.
Okay, I would like to introduce Dr. Charles Modica, our founding Chancellor of St. George's University.
Good morning. Come on, good morning. Yeah, it's a great morning. They almost forgot to introduce me, so I was wondering who was going to be next. Have a great sense of relief. I'm the founding father of the university, which unfortunately this year, as we celebrate our half-century mark, makes me kind of an old man, I guess, doesn't it? Yeah. I was 29 when the school actually started. I met the first students, and we got our charter right before that. So it's easy to do the math, you know. Here I am, still here, kicking. All of my doctors, by the way, just about everyone for me, my wife, my family, my grandchildren. We have 8 now. Hey, you know, it's good. Yeah. They're St. George's grads, so we seek them out, and many times we're referred to them by people who are saying, I know a really great this, that, or the other thing, and they happen to be St. George's. The improbability of that 50 years ago is pretty great. Now it's not, because, as you probably know, we are the largest provider of doctors to the United States of America for over the past decade, so we've done pretty good, and your predecessors have made that happen. I come here by way of I was once like you are, you know that song? I was once like you are. And I went to med school. I was the oldest in an Italian family from Brooklyn, New York. And if anybody's Italian here, they kind of know the drill. When you tell your mom you think you might want to be a doctor in high school, it's etched in stone. You know, that's, whoa, shouldn't have mentioned that day, you know. And so I was pre-med in college. And I was a baby boomer. You know, we have all generation names now. I think we're down to Z. I don't know what they're going to do after this, but I was a baby boomer. A baby boomer was a great thing. We learned that when we were in high school, junior high, and proud to be a baby boomer. We didn't really know what that meant until we got ready to go to college. And then we recognized we were a boomer because it was the end of World War II. Mom and Dad and whoever else was fighting that war came home. And lots of babies were born, and about a year or two later, which is how I got here. And, and it was a good thing until you applied to college and found out that the number of college seats were pretty much the same as the year before and the year before that, and there's about 30% more or 40% more applicants. And so all of a sudden your best friends in high school are like, oh my God, he's taking my seat, I'm taking her seat, and life is not so good. So being a baby boomer had great aspects of a competition between within our generation. And in med school, it was even worse. The number of medical school seats at that time had been fixed for years by organized medicine, and the budgets of schools were fixed where the faculty-student ratio was about 1-to-1. So every new student a school might add would cost them 4 to 5 times the tuition of that student, so they couldn't afford it. And that's because the 1-to-1 ratio were involved with people doing research, very laudable and still being carried out in the US, certainly, more than most countries. And that's why when I went to school, I went to Spain. Couldn't get into a US school with a lot of other baby boomers that year, about 35,000 others. We traipsed over to Europe and found that, gee, the schools were pretty good there. Tuition was low, and all you had to do was learn it in a foreign language. It wasn't that easy. I managed to pass everything in my first year, and over there, they didn't have MCATs in most of Europe in those days, or anywhere in Europe, actually. So what they did is they had your first year, and it was called selectivo in Spain. You got selected if you passed, and about 1 out of 6 or more did not make it to the second year. So it was kind of like an MCAT that lasted for a year. Probably more sensible in many ways. But I did great. I got my report card, snail mail, which is something you probably never heard of, but they used to have an envelope with a stamp on it to get mail. And my mom got the transcript that summer. I opened it up and said, oh my God, aprobado, 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 means I was approved to move on. And I hadn't mentioned to her that while I was in Spain, I decided I wasn't going back. Yeah. Bad news for Mom that day, I can tell you that. She took it pretty well. She cried for about 2 weeks, maybe, nonstop, I'm not kidding, and I hoped I would change my mind. I didn't. I kind of made a deal with my grandfather, who kind of had a little talk with me about, why aren't you going back? And I just said it was too much for me. And that's why I can look at you in the eye and respect you. I had aprobado, but it was too much. So I made a deal, and I said, oh, I'll go to law school. I'll be a lawyer. Okay, that worked out. I went to law school, and I want to mention this to you because it shows my respect for you, all of you. I went there, and no pre-law, obviously. Went in there because there's something else to do here. And I found the study of law fascinating after med school, because all you do is read short stories. A case is a short story, isn't it? And after my first week of law school, I said, there's got to be more to it than this. This is like a little too easy here. So out of 300 students, the guy who came in not really wanting to be a lawyer, but not wanting to go back to med school, at the end of that year, I was #1 out of 300 students in my class. Okay, yeah. I say that not to pat myself on the back, to let you know when I say I have respect for you, what it means. Studying law was a breeze. If any of you think of leaving and becoming a lawyer, I guarantee you're going to say, wow, what was I doing? What was I doing studying medicine? Now, I'm not trying to talk you all out of being here, but I can tell you that what you're about to do is profound in your lives, and it means you have a commitment, a calling. They talk about a calling to medicine, yeah. And you answered. You answered. I'm very proud to be with you. I came in last night, go out tomorrow. I fly down just for these ceremonies to look at you. To know I'm getting to be an old guy. To know how proud I am of you and your parents and family, and I think they're online too. You're special people. Yeah. You know, we lived in a troubled world, and the news each day gets scarier and scarier, including this morning when I got up. I said, oh, not a good day for a white coat. But you're there to alleviate pain and suffering, to care about your fellow human beings. You're special. Each and every one of you, individually and collectively, you are special. And this university is proud to be part of your lives. We didn't become the largest producer of doctors in the U.S. for nothing. It was your predecessors that were there. And a lot of stories about how I founded the school and all that sort of thing, but trust me, after law school, during law school, I said, there's got to be a better way for English-speaking students to study medicine. Grenada was sitting here, an independent nation, newly independent in '74. I sent them a telegram wishing them success in their independence and letting them know they were eligible for inclusion in my feasibility study for a new international medical school. Hey, I was in my mid-20s, come on, you know. They wrote back. They sent a telegram back that they were interested. They were #1 in the study, guaranteed in that day. And that's how we got to be here, yeah. So you have support from the faculty, as Dr. Lucas said, and administration of the school. And a lot of them they don't have to come to these ceremonies, but they want to be here. They want to be part of your lives. We're really proud of the interest and love they have for you. I'd like the administration and faculty of our School of Medicine to please stand right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Everybody, come on, come on, come on. Come on. So I can go on and on and on. I have a lot of war stories. I used to talk about them here, and then the dean would look at me and say, like, you know, time is up, which is okay. I don't get to see him much unless there's something majorly going wrong or whatever. I'll see him maybe on campus. I got my little mini moke outside, that little great little blue car. That's mine, baby. Yeah, yeah. Not for sale. It's one of the few left. They were all over the island at one time, but they're gone now. Anyway, I'll see you at graduation, hopefully. At my age, you have to say hopefully, I'm sorry. But I'm really proud of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Monica, for your heartfelt remarks, and I'm sure our students are very inspired by all of your remarks and all of your achievements. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Claudine Brown, a valued colleague and our esteemed keynote speaker. Dr. Claudine Brown is a board-certified pediatric intensivist, educator, and academic leader who embodies the journey that today's students are just beginning. A proud graduate of St. George's University School of Medicine, Dr. Brown began her medical training at SGU and went on to complete her pediatric residency at Maimonides Medical Center, followed by advanced training in pediatric critical care medicine at the University of Maryland and Johns Hopkins University. She now serves as the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs in the Office of Career Guidance for the Basic Sciences at SGU, where she supports and mentors medical students as they navigate the challenges and possibilities of a career in medicine. She also holds faculty appointments as Associate Professor of Clinical Skills at SGU and Assistant Professor of Pediatric Critical Care Medicine at St. George at the Children's Hospital of Mississippi, continuing to care for critically ill children and their families. Dr. Brown is deeply committed to teaching, mentorship, and service, and has guided hundreds of medical students, residents, and healthcare professionals through moments of growth and transformation. As an SGU alumna, physician, and mentor, she is honored to return to this milestone ceremony to stand before students and families as a reflection of what is possible, and to welcome the next generation of physicians as they don the white coat and begin their own extraordinary journeys. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Claudine Brown.
To the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees, to the faculty, the families, and most importantly, to the newest members of our profession, good morning. Today, you sit where I once sat. I sat through the very same lectures, I walked these same halls, and I wore the very same coat in your laps for the very first time. Equal parts terrified and equal parts proud. And if there's one thing I want you to know from the very beginning, it is this: we are far more alike than we are different. And if I could make it, you can too. But my journey to this white coat was anything but linear. And today I want to share with you a story, my story. And I want to leave you with a few lessons along the way that carried me when I was not sure that I could go any further. So let's get started. As early as the age of 2, maybe 3, by that time, I was running a full pediatric clinic from my family's living room. My dolls were my patients, my teddy bears were lined up around the corner receiving vaccines every day. I even had medical charts, not quite HIPAA compliant, but my intention was real. And whenever asked, what do you want to do when you grow up, Claudine? At 2, my answer never changed. I want to be a pediatrician. Not just any doctor, a pediatrician. And why was that the case? It was because there was a pediatrician in my life. Her name was Dr. Ware, and she was someone I admired deeply. She looked like me, and she made healing feel gentle, possible, and human. And because I could see her, I could see myself. Now let me pause here, because this matters more than you realize. You see, role models are the oxygen for human potential. Being able to see yourself in someone you admire is what makes dreaming possible. Before Dr. Ware, medicine was abstract. After her, it was attainable. And today, whether you realize it or not, you are becoming that for someone else. A child will see you. A student will shadow you. A patient will trust you. And because they can see you, they will believe that better is possible. So, I want you to sit with that responsibility. Feel empowered by it, but also feel the weight of it. Because this white coat does not just represent what you have achieved. It represents what you make it possible for others to become. Now, let's fast forward to undergrad. I entered bright-eyed, convinced that my destiny was medicine. Biomed major, chemistry minor, I had it all figured out. And somewhere along the way, the noise started. People who had never walked the road I was walking started showing up and giving directions. Well, you know how hard medicine is? Not everyone makes it. Maybe you should have a backup plan. After all, going away to the US for an undergrad and then going to the Caribbean for medical school only to come back to the US to train, that's giving hard. Initially, it rolled right off my back, but soon, little by little, this advice found fertile soil and started bearing its own fruits of self-doubt. But what I later realized was this. What these well-intentioned individuals were offering me was not guidance. It was fear disguised as advice. Listen, be very careful about taking directions from persons who have never been where you are going. Do not inherit other people's worries as your own, because if you carry their fear, you will not finish your race. You must learn to discern the difference between wisdom and projection, and when necessary, you must lovingly but firmly return fear back to its rightful owner. Then came medical school. Leaving my family again, leaving everything familiar, stepping into the unknown, excited and terrified. I remember sitting at my very own white coat ceremony in this very building, just like you are now. And can I tell you a secret? I don't remember a single word my keynote speaker said. Not one word. But I do remember how I felt. I felt electric, limitless, a bit overwhelmed, but I was certain that my future was bright. Before the doubt, before the sleep deprivation, before the wards, before the disillusionment that medicine sometimes brings, in that moment, I felt pure anticipation. So I want you to do something for me right now. Put a mental thumbtack in this moment. Preserve this feeling. The joy, the pride, the bright-eyed wonder, because there will be days when you will need to come back here. Before the world tries to harden you, before fatigue clouds your purpose, store this moment. You will need it later. Now, medical school humbled me. Up until this point, I had been known as a pretty good student. And outside of organic chemistry too, which brought me to the edge of my sanity, I had done pretty well. And then came term 1 and the unholy trinity of anatomy, biochemistry, and histology. Whew. I literally felt as if I were drinking from a fire hydrant every single day. The more I studied, the more I realized how little I knew, and I see heads nodding. You're not alone. And though I hadn't labeled it at the time, I now understand that I was navigating undiagnosed neurodivergence. So the tools everyone else used didn't work for me. Studying in the library during the day, impossible. Traditional schedules, ineffective. And with that came shame, because I thought the problem was me. And eventually I realized something that was life-changing. I wasn't failing medicine. I was trying to succeed using someone else's blueprint. So I stopped forcing my brains into molds it rejected. I started working with my mind instead of against it. I embraced my quirks, my rhythms, my differences, and in so doing, I found my people, my community, the people whose brains were the same flavor of spicy as mine. And for the very first time, I felt seen. You are the captain of your own ship. No one can hand you a blueprint for this journey. You must design it. So, grab the helm, hold that wheel firmly, and do not relinquish control of your future to anything or anyone. Not to peer pressure, not to prestige culture, not to political noise, not to external expectations. Your path must be authored by you. Now, before step 1, I postponed my exams for a few weeks. I was knee-deep in UWorld questions and practice tests, and I simply was not hitting the benchmarks that I had set for myself. And I surely could not risk a non-competitive score. I had planned to visit my family in Jamaica afterward, especially my big sister, Karen. To that point, she was my absolute favorite human and the best person to me in the world. Now, 6 days before my USMLE Step 1 exam, my father called. A man who I'd never known to be lost for words only found 3 words that afternoon. Karen is gone. The words lingered in the air, and his voice was heavy with a pain that I had never yet heard. And I remember exactly where I was in that public library in South Florida. My world did not shatter loudly, it went silent. It's the kind of silence where sound exists, but meaning doesn't. I remember staring at the wall, unable to process words. Air entered my lungs, but it didn't quite feel like I was breathing. You see, grief rewires your brain in a way that defies neuroscience. It sits in your chest, it lives in your bones. I didn't know how to breathe, much less how to move forward, and to be quite honest, I wasn't quite sure I wanted to. The next 2 years of navigating medical school while dealing with deep loss would be the landmark and the defining years of my life. Those were the days that broke me open and demanded of me to prove how badly I wanted to be a doctor. Those were the days that constantly asked me, give more. And on the days I didn't think I could, I did. Those were the days that taught me what I was truly made of. Now, the lesson in this story is not one of tragedy and one of loss. I stand here today in front of you because of grit, yes. Because of resilience, yes. But also because of the invisible forces beneath my wings. My unwavering parents and family who set aside their own grief to guide me through treacherous waters when I was not quite sure I could swim. Similarly, you are here because of parents and families whose sacrifices you may never fully understand. The ones who have gone without so you could have. You are the living, breathing evidence that their sacrifices were not in vain. The grandparents who whispered prayers into the night on your behalf when you didn't even know you needed covering. The love of your families, given or chosen, seen and unseen. That is what steadies you when this profession will try to unmake you. You will be carried when you cannot carry yourself. Never forget that. As you prepare to wear this coat, understand something deeply. You may be the one putting it on today, but you did not arrive here alone. The coat that you have in your laps is made of fabric from faith. It's stitched together with sacrifice, and it has been laundered in love. From those who have given tangibly and intangibly of themselves, the mothers, the fathers, the siblings, the partners, the friends, the mentors, they all have threads woven into the fabric of the coat that you will don for the very first time today. So, before this ceremony continues, I want you to turn to the ones that steadied you, and let's take a moment to applaud them, because this white coat is as much theirs as it is yours. Before I close, I want to speak plainly about the world in which you're entering, because you are stepping into medicine at a time that is complicated. It's a time where truth is debated, where science is questioned, where fear is weaponized. We are living in a time where morality sometimes feels negotiable. And in the midst of all of this, you are choosing to enter a profession that sits at the intersection between ethics, humanity, and science. That's not accidental. That is a calling. This white coat that you're about to wear is more than a uniform. It is armor. Armor that protects the dignity of your patients and shields the disenfranchised from neglect, from bias, and from indifference. But let me be clear, it's not meant to be worn passively. This coat is also a sword against misinformation. In a world where myths spread faster than medicine, your voice must cut through the noise with clarity and with truth. The coats you wear will age. Titles will come and they will go. Accolades will fade. But the story that you write with your life in medicine, that will endure. So, write your story with courage. Write it with honesty and integrity. And remember that despite our individual journeys, we are far more alike than we are different. And if I could make it here, so can you. I look forward to seeing where this journey takes you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, for your inspiring words of encouragement that you have shared with us today. So, St. George's University School of Medicine will now present you with a white coat symbolizing your entry into the profession and your commitment to uphold the duties and trust associated with medicine and medical training. I now invite this faculty from the School of Medicine to take the stage. Our quotas today include Dr. Mayana Charles, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Rahim, Dr. Simone Pierre, Dr. Rohan Cummings, Dr. Katharina Billy, Dr. Himilatha Pasupuletti, Dr. Tiffany Clementson, and Dr. Omnia Habura. Dr. Nitsa Tapal, Assistant Provost for Assessment and Evaluation, Monitoring Systems, and the Associate Dean for Evaluation and Assessment in the School of Medicine, will call each student by name and by college. Those students who have with them a physician, family member, or loved one will be quoted by those physicians. We ask that you please hold your applause until all the students are quoted and keep the aisles clear for the duration of the quoting. Also, a gentle reminder to students to please have your coats unbuttoned for the quoting.
I will first call upon the students representing Blackwell College. Sahari Arain. Mohamed Al-Sado. Ian Park. Urvish Gami. David Foti. Abigail Ramutar. Aimee Chase. Silena Benjamin. Jameer Celestine. Anthony Alowu. Antoine Paul. Ariel Phillip. Sierra Peters. Meg Gunamareddy. Alizera Raji. Abir Sood. Zidane Hopkin. Miranda Johnson. Alana Das. Layla Smith. Viviana Lopez. Light Chinaka. Nkeshe Kaila Andal. Mahek Kapoor. Rihanna George Simon. Sharice Bishop. Jensen Thompson. Daryl Hines. DeAndre Adams. Joanne Matthew. Hannah Williams. Kayla George. Randell McDonald. Riza Patrice. Miriam Kalist. Shinaida Chasifu. I will now call on the students representing Curie College. Denise Watson Simmons. Umama Moon. Marisa Abulawi. Sterling Sincere. Noah Farouz. Jackson Colwhite. Yessi Vega. Enrico Young. James Little. Abhishek Kitusami. Min Stanwyck. Isaiah Wahab. Louis Maxwell Jr. Fiza Mobeen. Sarah Kaur Dhaliwal. Megan Carter. Diana Garcia. Mirab Joseph. Naba Zaki. Kalthum Baghill. Sarah Tran. I will now call on additional students from Curie College. Nashana Alexis. Andrew Adams. Kaysen St. Fleur. Chien Yem Ugunze. Chimere Ozioko. Tishorn Henry. Sarah Masilamani. Tanaya Tunayu. Roel. Brittany Parila. Beverly Reynolds. Latrice Haskins. I will now call on the students representing Fleming College. Dejana Wilson. Shayla Hill Watts. Harleen Randawa. Hyuni Kim. Jasleen Baines. Hunter Ellis. Paola Alvarez. Stephen Lazar. Brendan Reed. Mitchell Jennerson. Sam Motahidan. Amir Hassanpour. Austin Meyer. Innocent Lubega. Nirvana Moses. Fatima Katana. Yassine Nazari. Danny Brandock. Chadrick Derrick. Claire Mueller. Olive Alomba. Nare Hovekian. Danya Sanga. Harshan Gosal. Sharon Makovore. Deborah Iweya. Irene Perez. Reina Aurora. Irene Bashara. Myron Krishantha. Jillian Ramirez. Jaka Quintos. I will now call on the students representing Galen College. KJ Hartline. Sushant Kainth. Brandon Pham. Nicole Racanye. Akwi Injo. Liliana Langain. Rohan Piniti. Sophia Romani Basus. Talia Geller. Camelia Uhaj. Gabrielle Persijin. Athira Pratap. Ashlyn Elizabeth Mills. Kelly Otti. Ashley Meyer. Umair Mansour. Sahith Maradana. Caitlin Scardino. Kevin Jeong Han. James Wilker. Sakrit Deol. Emma Chin. Brianne Larocque. Saif El-Tarshubi. Balrit Diol. Idrissa Kabia. Valeria Makini. Chloe Rickson. Harsha Vardhan Thangaviyajan. Jia Mahajan. Zen Kulchitsky. Konstantinos Vonic. I will now call upon the students who will be coded by their designees. Gianni Clementi, coded by Aunt Godmother Dr. Elham Fakhri. Anmol Sharma, coded by Mother Dr. Sabita Sharma. Neil Trivedi, coded by Father Dr. Shivang M. Trivedi. Noah Gerritsen, coded by Father Dr. Brett Gerritsen. Sean Matthews, coded by Father Dr. Sunil Matthews. Samaya Gray, coded by her doctor, Dr. Deborah Ann Stevens-John. Tajer Belfon, coded by Father Dr. Yanni Belfon. Halef Farahifar, coded by Father Dr. Rontain Farahifar. Randy Abramovich, coded by Brother Dr. Oscar Abramovich. Anvita Panyam, coded by father, Dr. Rajesh Panyam. Derek Bernard, coded by mother, Dr. Daria Cornwall Bernard. Paul Ojomu, coded by mother, Dr. Funke Ojomu. Kevin Mahesh, coded by aunt, Dr. Sharmila Upadhyay. Paulette Mitchell, coded by mentor, Dr. Kazara Rayburn. Lauren Compass, coded by sister, Dr. Frances Compass. Yashkur Al-Shahwani, coded by mother, Dr. Malak Al-Rawi. Neha Ashraf, coded by sister, Dr. Hiba Ashraf.
So I would like to extend my congratulations to you, the class of 2030. I would now like to introduce Dr. Anna Cyrus Murden, Assistant Dean for Simulation, co-chair of the Department of Clinical Skills, and an SOM alumna, to lead you in the professional commitment.
Good morning. All right. So I would like to remind you that you are at your white coat ceremony. So that means you have permission to let everyone know how you feel at your present be felt with a resounding enthusiasm and energy. So let's do it again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I like it. So it appears that I have the distinct honor of bringing this momentous occasion across the finish line. And we shall accomplish this by reciting the professional commitment, because nothing says official quite like being inducted and being sworn in, right? So at this time, I would invite the class of 2030 to stand and recite aloud with me the professional commitment. This commitment was written by a student task force in 1995 and later revised in 2024. And it has been recited at each of our School of Medicine white coat ceremonies. I would also like to invite all the other physicians in the room to please stand and assist us in reciting our professional commitment. Are you ready? Today is the beginning of my medical education and training as a physician. I acknowledge my responsibility to continue the pursuit of knowledge and understanding while recognizing the limits of my abilities and seeking assistance when necessary. I am entering training for a noble profession in which my interests must always be subservient to those who may seek my assistance. I must be ever conscious of the value of my fellow healthcare professionals and treat them with respect at all times. My classmates at St. George's University are now my colleagues, and I owe to them the same support and encouragement to achieve their goals as I hope to receive from them. I will work alongside my colleagues and professors with tolerance, compassion, honesty, and cultural humility. I will treat all members of the St. George's University community and its visitors with equity, regardless of rank, as I will do with my future patients. I acknowledge my obligations to adhere to the University Honor Code and to conduct myself with integrity and in an ethical manner at all times henceforth. Taking full responsibility for my choices and actions, I shall do all within my power to show of myself an example of that is honorable and good throughout my medical career. It is a privilege to have been given the opportunity to become a physician. May I be ever conscious of that privilege and never abuse it. Please be seated. And congratulations to the class of 2030. Welcome to St. George's University.
On behalf of St. George's University, I would like to thank the Arnold Gold Foundation for the Humanism in Medicine pins that are placed on each student's white coat. Thank you, students, families, faculty, staff, administrators, and specially invited guests for your support and your presence at this ceremony. We ask that you please remain seated and keep the aisles clear until our faculty and students have exited as directed by the ushers, and when directed to please exit using the side doors. Also, please keep the front of the room clear as we set up for our next ceremony. We would also like to ask you to join us for a light reception in the open area of Modica Hall. And thank you again to everyone for joining us today with our white coat ceremony, and congratulations again to the class of 2030.